Welcome back, everyone, to our latest episode of DAI Discussion, our weekly review session of Dragon Quest: The Adventure of DAI. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 5. I'm sackchief. I'm joined by Ryan and Wolfsbane.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
What's up, everyone?
Alright, so today's episode that we're going to be reviewing is episode 5, The Insignia of Avan. It carries over last week's episode, which was the battle between Avan and Hadlar, the Dark Commander. And this episode finishes the battle between the two of them. It is a very emotional episode where Avan decides to protect his students and Gomechan and Brass by casting Kaklang on them, and while they're frozen in this sort of metal and can't move, and they're also protected, he does his final battle against Hadlar, and in the end he uses Megante, his final move, because he has no more magic in this episode, so he uses Megante in an attempt to kill himself and Hadlar at once. It's like a self-destruct move that's extremely powerful. He does that. Turns out that actually Hadlar survives it, so his sacrifice was actually in vain, sadly. And Hadlar then turns to the others and decides to cast Kafriz on them to kill them when they are done, when the spell wears off. DAI, he doesn't want Avan's sacrifice to be in vain, so he actually summons his Dragon Crest again, and he breaks out of the spell, which is extremely hard spell to break out of. He goes after Hadlar. They have a huge fight. Hadlar, grows these freaking Wolverine claws, slashes at him. He's also running out of magic. They're both running low on fumes, and DAI just beats the shit out of him. He tosses him in the air, does Avan Strash, he chops his arms off with Avan Strash using Avan's sword, and sends him flying, and this starts a big rivalry between two, hero and villain. This is a big turning point in the series, very emotional. A lot of people told me that it made them very sad this episode, seeing Avan die, because he did die in this episode, and it was very sad. And it was a very cool, action-packed episode, and I really liked it a lot. It was a great episode. So, what do you guys think first? Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing episode. I was definitely anticipating this one since it started. And then, actually watching it in action, I do admit I have not watched the original anime version. I did read the manga, and they handled it really, really well. There's a ton of great action in this episode with DAI versus Hadlar, and it really reminds you of Dragon Ball Z.
I saw some of that too. I watched the original episode. It was better than the original episode, I think. I think it was more, the action was more dynamic. It was just better than the original episode overall. It was just very crazy. The expressions, the way the bodies moved when they were like punching each other. It was, and like the choreography was really fast. It was very Dragon Ballish when Hadlar was slashing around at DAI, and DAI was just dodging back and forth. I kind of saw a little bit of that. Wolfsman, what do you think about the episode overall?
I thought it was a really action-packed, just really good episode. I personally liked just kind of the way a lot of the attacks, kind of like all the magical spells and everything, the way they looked in motion, the way they're animated, and like you said, visually, it's a really good-looking episode, and that's has a lot to do with the way it's animated, and how much time they have now to make these look as good as they do. I've not seen the original. I've not watched. I've not read the original manga or anything like that. So I have a fresh perspective on this compared to, say, you two. But it's a really good episode. Seeing DAI just break out of Kaklang like that, and then just go in, gut check Hadlar, and just basically scare the bejesus out of this guy. It felt good. Like, I got this feeling in my chest where I was like, yeah, and also seeing him, pull off Avan's Strash with Avan's sword and just basically just Vegeta-ing him into the sky. Was a really good feeling, and also seeing Hadlar pull out the Chimera Wing to get away was a good feeling. And I really like that they show what that looks like from somebody else's perspective. So it's basically like, what does Zoom look like? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I love it. I'm super excited to see what else they do. And I also liked that at the end, when you see Hadlar in his like cave, kind of thinking about stuff, and he looks out from there, you just see all these different monsters, and you get a good look at some of them from behind, and there's just there's so many references to the games in this show, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, although I do wish like they actually played the sound effect from the game when Hadlar uses the Chimera wing, the rear sound.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get why they didn't though.
Oh yeah, they have to make it a little different.
Yeah. It has to be
Yeah,
a
because
little
like
bit less
it's
scary.
kind of goofy sounding a little bit, and like it's kind of like supposed to be this badass moment of like, oh, I'm getting away, and have that like emotional feel. And if you hear the whew, it's gonna kind of bring you out of that moment for a little bit. So I get it.
Right.
Right.
But I wouldn't have minded it though. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a good reference, but I understand why.
Anyway, this episode was it was cool. I did like seeing how freaked out Hadlar was. So you got this guy who was originally the big bad, and DAI has essentially surpassed Avan, and he's stronger than Avan, and he managed to beat the crap out of Hadlar. He chopped both his arms off. And
in a swipe, he's just like, oh boy.
yeah, he just chopped his damn arms off, and he also, the cut that DAI made went across Hadlar's chest, just like the one that Avan made, except the one DAI made was strong enough that it wasn't healing as fast because of how strong it was.
He's like, this one's taking longer to heal. He's like, this is impossible, and he kept making reference to like the crest on DAI's head.
You're
Now
right.
again, I haven't watched the original show or read the manga, so I have no idea what any of this means. But apparently, it's a very significant thing, and maybe this Dragon Knight thing. I don't know what it is. Sounds cool though.
Right.
Right.
So basically, Hadlar sees the crest on his head. He recognizes it immediately. Nobody else knows what that is. Brass doesn't even know what it is. Only Hadlar knows what it is. Maybe that means something. I know what it means, but we're not going to be spoiling this because this is a review session for people who are following the series and are new to it. So this will be pretty important later on, and it means that DAI is a Dragon Knight, whatever that is. And he's a force to be reckoned with. And also, Hadlar basically says at the end that this guy is a Dragon Knight, which means that when he grows up, he's going to be so powerful, he's going to beat the shit out of me. He's going to kick my ass, like, pretty much. That's what he
He's
implied.
like, I need to kill him now while he's still a fetus.
Pretty much.
Right.
So this kid will be even more powerful. Yeah, it's an interesting plot point. I think people will greatly enjoy the whole Dragon Knight thing when you find out more about it, because obviously we are going to find out more about it. They're
Oh yeah, totally.
clearly hinting at it. So yeah, it's a cool thing seeing DAI get this powerful and be able to defeat Hadlar. And it seemed like hope was really lost because he defeated Avan. And also, I think we should mention that DAI and Pop are now officially they're officially graduated from Avan's school. They have the necklaces now that Avan put on around them when he was doing his farewell to everyone before going off to fight Hadlar. He officially graduated them, told them, hey, listen, you guys still have a lot to learn, and this isn't over yet. You still have to keep fighting. I'm gonna put this around you, and I absolutely won't lose. And then he went off and fought Hadlar. That was a pretty sad moment, and when Pop was breaking down, crying at the end, that kind of hit you hard, didn't it?
Oh yeah, totally. It did. Yeah.
The question: who here cried?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't cry because I already knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
I saw it coming, so I didn't cry. I had some people DM me telling me that they cried during the episode, so I was like, wow, really?
I have a heart of stone, so I felt nothing other than, wow, this is a sad moment for these guys.
What did you think about Avan's grave that they made with his glasses, his broken glasses?
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. It's a nice reference because it's the split rock, it's his glasses, it's his sword. It's a good reference to basically everything that they knew Avan for at that moment, I suppose.
Right.
Yes, especially the broken glasses.
It would have been really cool if they had found like an extra pendant or something, or if Pop had just taken his pendant off and like left it there and was like said something along the lines of, "I'll return for this whenever I'm ready." or something, I felt like that would have had a bit more emotional impact. Or if they had found like his old helmet, which we all know he probably had,
Yeah.
and like sat it on the top of the sword, you know?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that would be cool, but it's like he now at this point, right? Avan, did you expect him to die this early? Tell me the truth. You must be surprised.
I mean, kinda. The reason why is because one, he's really overpowered, and you know, like yeah, we have an overpowered main character, but you usually don't get a character that strong who's not the main character, and usually if you do, they're not going to be around for long. And not only that, but even the intro of the show shows he's like in the light, so I'm like, oh, he's dead for sure.
Oh, you knew.
I saw that and I was like, this dude's gone.
Yeah.
Well, although in all honesty, when I first read the manga, I did not think he was gonna die. Like I thought Hadlar was gonna beat him, and the end says, "Well, Avan, you're too weak. I will wait for you to re-challenge me or something." But I was really surprised he was killed off that quickly.
I was surprised too. Yeah.
Like he's supposed to be the legendary hero.
Exactly.
And usually legendary heroes in Dragon Quest games are, well, like a lot of them are like dead for like many centuries, but this legendary hero died pretty quickly.
Yeah. And
also, I know a lot of people are wondering who's that girl. You know, when Avan was about to sacrifice himself, you see this glimpse of a girl. Like a lot of people are going to wonder who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you will find out. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, I that completely spaced on me actually.
Yeah.
We'll find out more soon. Yeah. So Avan is he basically sacrificed himself. This is a pretty shocking moment in the series. I told you that he's kind of like All Might from My Hero. Like there's similarities. I told you that, right? The whole series is gonna kind of revolve around him and his legacy. And everyone's going to be thinking about him, and he's going to have he's going to have an impact on the series even when he's dead, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, everything just revolves around him. It's a cool dynamic, and also, now you have these guys, and they're going up against the Demon King alone, without Avan. It's going to be pretty hopeless for them, but they'll meet new friends and be able to gather their forces and get stronger. It'll be a really great coming-of-age story, you know?
Yeah, but now they have Hadlar and then Demon Lord Vern, so they're gonna have it hard without Avan.
Yep.
Well, but the excitement is seeing like how they're gonna conquer all this without their hero now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you want to talk about?
Should we talk about the preview for the next episode or not?
Oh, yeah. Yes, the preview.
I think we should. I think everyone's probably wondering a little bit about that. So, we saw our tritagonist, our third character in the preview episode, Marm or Mom or whatever you want to call her. I started reading the manga again, and I picked it up again, and at this point in the manga, they decided to start calling her Marm. So that's kind of stuck.
Might have been a translation thing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Mom here.
Well, yeah, Mom. Even in the preview, whenever they said Mom, like in the subtitles. So
yeah.
So she's gonna.
I'm gonna call her Mam though, because mammaries and mammogram.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Their interactions and everything. She's gonna push Pop down, as you saw from the preview, and we're gonna meet a new villain, Crocodile, in the next episode.
My favorite character in the series. Yep, my absolute favorite character.
He's a great character.
He looks very menacing.
He's menacing. Oh, yeah. He's really tough. He's got a lot of honor. He's a very honorable villain. You'll find. Like.
Yeah, I also noticed that this Mam chick has a gun, and I'm like, she got a gun.
Guns exist in Dragon Quest.
Yep.
He has a gun.
She's got a gun, and I'm assuming it shoots magic.
Yep. Exactly.
Magic pistol. It looks like a revolver, too. I also like how the barrel's just massive on it. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's a gun. It's like, wow, so that's a thing in Dragon Quest now. We have guns.
DAI
breaks a lot of rules, you know?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's a few Dragon Quest games that break rules, too. I mean, there's robots, there's there's flying cars, there's time travel, there's space stations, there's all kinds of weird stuff in Dragon Quest. I mean, there's a train in 9, for God's sake.
Are there aliens yet? Is that a thing yet, or?
Probably.
Okay.
Yes, there are kind of aliens in Dragon Quest X.
Hoppets are aliens, technically, aren't they?
A little bit.
You know, it's funny that there's a train in 9 when trains don't exist in the Dragon Quest universe, which means they don't even know what a train is.
It's a magic train.
Yeah, the magic train. So just a regular train, because there's no such thing as a train in the Dragon Quest universe. So
yeah, it's just magical. I don't know.
It's the only train in the Dragon Quest universe.
Well, there's also trains in 10.
Oh, there are. Right. I remember because I took the train to go to that city. So that's a thing. Listen, there's no rules with the series. The series just chooses when it wants to have...
Well, there is one rule, and it's visually aesthetics, but we know that there's at least one thing that broke that rule. But we won't talk about that here.
Visual you're talking about that.
Yeah, that. Anyways.
There are no rules. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if some...
The one rule is there are no rules, so it's like Final Fantasy.
Yes.
There are no rules.
Yeah, the only rule is the main character has to
keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, he has to not talk.
And even then, that's kind of a loose one, because DAI technically breaks that rule.
Yeah, he does. DAI does. Abel from the other anime does.
Wonder if that one will get a remake.
Hell, that's not going to get a remake. That one's not as popular.
Right.
Hey, maybe. Hey, you never know. Anyways.
Could happen.
I'm excited to see where this goes, and I'm excited to see this other character, because I know very little to nothing other than she has magic gun and pink hair.
Yes.
Right.
She's very
I'm and I am definitely excited. I'm definitely excited to see Crocodile in action.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be tough. He's gonna be badass.
He looks like a big crocodile man, which I guess is why he's called Crocodile. But you know.
Now, yeah, he's a red crocodile with an axe, and there's a crocodile in the mainline series, isn't there?
I think maybe, I don't know. There's been
DK5 there's a crocodile dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are.
Yeah,
dude, there's literally everything in Dragon Quest.
Yeah, everything's based on the games. I think Crocodile might predate the crocodile monster from 5, because there is a crocodile.
They got the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh boy. So yeah, that's a pretty good episode overall. There's not a lot to talk about because it was just a big old fight scene, a lot of emotional stuff going on. And...
It's basically like two big fight episodes, like slammed, like to split. Well, it's one big fight episode split into 2, which I like because it divides up the action and lets you just soak it all in.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, I guess I can compare it to the original a little bit. The original was a little more like, it was split a little bit weirdly. It was split in between the Avan fight, it was split in between DAI's fight, I think. I don't know. It was just weird. And also, it was very partly DAI's fault that Avan sort of had to freeze them because they were fighting in a cave, and here they're fighting in like an outside field. Yeah, but the end was very similar. He just punches the crap out of. He punches the crap out of him. He goes flying, and then he teleports away, saying, "Oh, I will never forget you. I'm going to kill this kid." And big old villain starts origin story.
There's one other thing I want to talk about that I think most people may overlook, and I think that we are overlooking.
Okay.
And that is, even after the death of Avan, that his protection is still on the island.
Well, his magic is just that powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Like that goes to show you how powerful these characters get. Like, if DAI has already surpassed Avan, like, jeez.
In certain ways, like maybe not magic power yet, because
maybe not. But I mean, still, the fact that he was able to push back, like one of the most powerful frizz spells from Hadlar with a an ice spell. That's insane. And the fact that he was also take a point blunt, like a full shot from Kaboom, when that was nearly fatal to Avan, and like it basically did nothing to DAI. Like, these characters are tough, bro.
He is tough. He's a tough kid. He's very OP. You'll find that he's like a plot device. He always wins.
He is this universe's version of Goku.
Pretty much, yeah.
DAI is just Goku here. He has the strongest plot armor.
Like the similarities are very striking. You'll find that like people will be watching a show and they'll be thinking, man, Dai is very similar to Goku in a lot of ways. You know, his innocence, his strength, the way he's kind of has a little bit of a special origin.
Mm-hmm. He's basically a Super Saiyan.
Pretty much, yeah. There's a lot of similarities, and I think people like Dai a lot soon, especially when he gets stronger.
Yeah, I feel like Dragon Ball fans really need to latch onto this because it is just Dragon Ball as could be.
Yeah, pretty much.
The funny thing is, people are always like, "Oh, is Dragon Quest Dai a rip off of Dragon Ball?" And I kind of say, yeah, kind of.
Yes, and no, because it also predates some of the Dragon Ball stuff that everyone knows and loves.
They kind of learn from each other in a way, but then I was reading the manga and I found a character who very strongly reminded me of another character, and even had the same exact name as a DBZ character, and it made me think. And he also acted like him and looked like him. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's like it really makes you think. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan, right?
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. This character not only looks like the Dragon Ball counterpart, but he has the same name, and he kind of has the same role, and he acts a little bit the same. And it makes you really think. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So soon we will be getting our Bulma character in Dragon Quest Dai. We already have our Goku and our Yamcha character. Now we need our Bulma character.
Exactly.
Yep.
She's kind of the Bulma character. Is there there's like an Oolong there's an Oolong character too. Oh my god, there is one. Yeah,
there is a Oolong.
There is one.
Gomei-chan's just basically Poir.
Gomei-chan is Poir. Yeah.
You know, the more you look at it, the more you're like, oh man.
Really, yeah. If you look at it, you do realize that there's a lot of similarities. There's too many.
Hadlar's just Demon King Piccolo.
He pretty much is, yeah. It's crazy, but it's not a bad thing. It's like if you miss the old Dragon Ball series, the original one where Goku was a kid, which I actually think is the best one, and out of the three, I genuinely do.
There's a lot of people who think that.
Yeah, I think it's the best one because it was very grounded. It's about martial arts.
Out of the four, animes, most people seem to think that Dragon Ball is the best. That seems to be the majority of opinions.
That's surprising, but yeah, that's
more people have started watching it here in recent years, so that explains it.
Right, and Dai really brings out kind of the feeling you have watching the original Dragon Ball series, because it's not all these aliens running around like fighting each other, like all this crazy.
Well, it's got a bit of the Z stuff, like all the crazy like air battles and energy blasts flying around, so it's got a bit of that Z flavor in there.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, it does get more intense as the series goes on, but it's still pretty grounded.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing, and Dragon Quest can get pretty out there. Like even like for those who've never played a game, usually in the later stages of the games, it gets pretty like in like galactic space scale in some cases.
Right.
And there's some Dragon Quest characters who could probably wipe out the Dragon Ball verse if they tried hard enough.
There's characters in Dai who I think honestly would beat some of the Z fighters in a fight. I think they would stand a chance against some of them.
It just depends on like at what point in the series we're talking about, but that's a debate for another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about when those characters show up, but it's pretty close when it comes to power scaling and all that stuff.
I can't wait for High Knuckle to show up.
Oh, he's tough.
Yeah, High Knuckle. Yeah,
High Knuckle. I will forever call him High Knuckle.
High Knuckle, yeah. Yep.
Oh boy.
Good old High Knuckle.
Good old High Knuckle.
Yep. Alright, so I think that was a good review. You guys have anything else to add, or should we close it up?
I'm just really excited for the next episode, so everyone should definitely stay tuned.
I'm super pumped to see not only the next episode, but the rest of this series and to see where it goes and how long it goes. I hope we manage to get all the way to the end because I really don't want to read the manga in my honest opinion, but I think that is good enough for me to close on. It's exciting, and I hope everybody else at home who's watching is also enjoying and agreeing with us. So I give this episode a 10 out of 10.
I think it's a great episode too. Yeah. So next episode, they're leaving the island. There's going to be an adventure. They're going to be traveling. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of new characters, a lot of new places. This is where the show really starts to pick up. So you gotta watch the next week's episode. And you gotta watch it in our Discord server because we all watch it together. It's on the screen, our Discord server link, and it's in the description. So make sure you join Friday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We watch Dragon Quest Die together. It's a lot of fun. Everyone watches together, like 20 people at once, and it's a good time. So be sure to join Discord server, and we'll see you next week.
All right, take it easy, everyone.
Everybody have a wonderful day, and catch y'all later. Links in the description down below.